Welcome back to Politics Watch J.A, your go-to channel for in-depth analysis of Jamaican politics. First off, a massive thank you to all our loyal supporters and subscribers. We appreciate you for sticking with us. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. Hit that notification bell. And if you enjoy the content, give us a thumbs up and share it with your friends and family. Now, let's dive into today's topic. We all know that the Prime Minister of Jamaica holds the power to advise the Governor General on when to call a general election. Right. On the surface, this might seem like a straightforward constitutional process. But what if this whole system is actually a front for something much bigger? What if the date of the general election isn't really being chosen by Andrew Holness at all? What if, behind the scenes, powerful elites, business tycoons, foreign investors, and old money families are secretly manipulating the political process? The Prime Minister's right to advise the Governor General could actually be the key to controlling the entire Jamaican political landscape. In this video, we'll explore the arguments that suggest that elections in Jamaica are being strategically timed to serve the interests of a hidden group. Could the PNP's recent rally rescheduling in Crossroads be part of a larger plot to manipulate public opinion and control the nation's political narrative? Stick with us as we break it all down. This one is going to be eye-opening. Let's dive into the arguments behind Jamaica's elections and the players who might be controlling it all. You won't want to miss this. Stay tuned. So we all know that the Prime Minister of Jamaica holds the power to advise the Governor General on when to call a general election. Right. On the surface, this seems like a straightforward part of the parliamentary system. But what if the seemingly simple process is actually a front for a massive, well-orchestrated plot that goes way beyond just electing a government? What if the date of Jamaica's general election isn't really being chosen by Prime Minister Andrew Holness at all? What if there's something much deeper going on behind the scenes? The Prime Minister's right to call the election is not just about fulfilling a constitutional duty, it's the key to controlling the entire political landscape of Jamaica. What if the power to advise the Governor General has been secretly manipulated over the decades to ensure that certain influential forces maintain control of the country? Regardless of who technically wins the election, the real power doesn't lie with the elected Prime Minister or the cabinet, it lies in a hidden circle of powerful elites, business tycoons, foreign investors, and old money families, who have covert influence over the Prime Minister and the political process. These elites have no intention of losing control of Jamaica's political and economic systems, and they use the Prime Minister as a puppet to keep their hold on power. While the Governor General seems to hold the ceremonial power to dissolve Parliament, they are actually a mere figurehead. Behind the scenes, they are heavily influenced by the same elites who control the Prime Minister. In other words, the Governor General doesn't truly make the decision on when the election is called, they're told when to act, based on a strategic game plan laid out by the unseen puppet masters. The key to this suggestion is the timing of the election. What if the date of every election since 1962 has been carefully calculated, not based on the Constitution or political necessity, but on what benefits certain powerful factions the most at that time? Elections are called strategically to distract the public from emerging scandals, economic instability, or global events that might threaten the interests of these shadowy elites. The elites have their own insider knowledge of when the nation's economy will take a hit, when unrest might grow, or when foreign influence is about to increase in Jamaica. They push for the timing of elections to ensure they maintain the upper hand. For example, they might delay elections during a period of public discontent or call an election early when the economy is booming, ensuring that the party in power can ride a wave of good news to victory. Now here is the twist. The opposition parties, whether it's the PNP or any other emerging political force, are also controlled. They are set up not to truly disrupt the system, but to give the public the illusion of choice. The elites ensure that no real, long-term threat to their power emerges from the opposition. Even when a major opposition party gains ground, it is strategically manipulated or co-opted into a system that ensures no party can ever have real, uncontested power for long. The Prime Minister, backed by the elites, will time elections to coincide with key events. For example, elections called right after a major tourist season or infrastructure development to create the illusion of economic stability and success. Elections called in times of economic boom, allowing the government to claim credit for growth that was really orchestrated by global investors or business elites. Elections delayed during economic downturns to prevent the public from associating government inaction with worsening conditions. While the public believes they're voting for change, the true goal is to prevent real change. By controlling the timing of elections, these elites ensure that they can manipulate public opinion and shape the political discourse in their favor. The people might think they have a voice, but in reality, the election cycle is carefully orchestrated to maintain status quo power dynamics. This global elite is not just concerned with local Jamaican politics, they are part of a bigger network of financial interests that stretch far beyond the island. Jamaica's political cycle is strategically tied into international interests, particularly from foreign governments, corporations, and financial institutions. The timing of elections could be designed to align with key global events, trade agreements, or even shifts in foreign policy. For example, if an international corporation wants to secure a major investment in Jamaica, the elites controlling the election cycle might time the election to ensure the right government is in power at just the right moment. The Prime Minister might be pressured to call the election when it suits foreign interests, thus securing favorable conditions for multinational corporations to thrive in Jamaica, while local interests are sidelined. The opposition PNP has rescheduled its mass rally set for Sunday, August 10, 2025 in Crossroads, St. Andrew. The PNP says the decision was made due to public concerns. The party says its decision is in keeping with its commitment to national unity. On the surface, the People's National Party, PNP, rescheduling its mass rally seems like a reasonable move driven by public concerns and a commitment to national unity. The party has claimed that the change in plans is about listening to the people and responding responsibly to emerging issues. However, a more sinister interpretation suggests that this decision may be part of a larger, orchestrated plot that goes beyond merely appeasing public sentiment. Could it be that the PNP is strategically manipulating the timing of their political events for a hidden agenda, controlled by unseen hands? The decision to reschedule the rally is as a result of the expectation that Prime Minister Andrew Holness will announce the election date, which will likely be a major event. Some believe the PNP, aware of the impact of this announcement, rearranged their rally to avoid competition for attention. Instead of competing with the Prime Minister's announcement, they strategically delay the rally to shift the focus toward their own narrative at a later, more favorable time. PNP is attempting to control the media cycle, ensuring that they are able to dominate the political conversation at the right moment. The rally, originally set to compete for attention on the same day, would have become a mere footnote in the shadow of the government's announcement. The rescheduled rally is a distraction technique. In recent times, both the government and opposition have been embroiled in political scandals and public unrest. This theory posits that the PNP, as well as the JLP, are aware of growing discontent in the populace, and political rallies often serve to distract people from underlying issues such as economic instability, corruption, and unresolved social issues. The PNP's statement that the decision is made in the spirit of national unity raises some eyebrows. The concept of national unity has often been used by both the PNP and the JLP to create a veneer of solidarity, masking underlying power struggles. The emphasis on unity is merely a political tactic. The real motive might be to create an illusion of peace and responsibility, especially as tensions between the parties rise. By presenting themselves as the unifying force, the PNP could be trying to appease the electorate, particularly those who are tired of the polarization of Jamaican politics. That hidden financial elites, including business magnates and international investors, are pulling the strings behind the scenes. The PNP's rescheduled rally could be a calculated move made in response to the interests of powerful backers, in particular, those with business interests in the island. These elites are alleged to be deeply embedded in the political fabric of Jamaica, ensuring that whichever party is in power, PNP or JLP, their business ventures continue to thrive. The rescheduling is therefore a strategic maneuver to align with the interests of these backers. keeping the public diverted from the larger economic realities that may be looming in the near future, such as rising inflation, foreign debt, or trade agreements that may affect local industries. The opposition and government are not truly at odds but are playing parts in a scripted political drama. The PNP rescheduling its rally could be seen as part of an ongoing effort to create the illusion of choice for voters, keeping the electorate engaged in a political theater where the outcomes are predetermined by the interests of the elite few. In this sense, the PNP's rally and the JLP's announcements are part of a carefully constructed charade designed to keep the public believing that real change is possible, when in reality, the power remains in the hands of a select group who control the game. The PNP's decision to reschedule its mass rally is portrayed not as a simple act of responsible leadership, but as a calculated, strategic move to maintain control over the political narrative, whether to avoid competing with the government's announcement, distract the public from deeper issues, or align with the interests of powerful financial elites. The rescheduling is seen as part of a broader orchestrated plan to keep the electorate distracted and divided. Thanks for tuning into Politics Watch J.A. We hope today's deep dive into Jamaica's election system and the forces that might be shaping it opened your eyes to something you haven't seen before. If you found this video interesting, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you never miss our latest updates. Got thoughts or questions? Drop them in the comments below. We love hearing your opinions and having those discussions. And if you think this video can spark some conversation, make sure to share it with your friends and family. Stay tuned for more in-depth analysis, because we're just getting started. Politics Watch J.A., keeping you informed on the issues that matter. Catch you in the next one.